Welcome to the Black Script Storytellers. My name is Kevin Marable, and today we have two amazing guests with us. They both hail from Texas, I believe, but by way of Atlanta. And today we have Daytwan Williams. He's an actor, and we also have Johnnard Harper. And together they have a film that is on Tubi, is on fire, and has over 6.2 million streams and going. And it is called The Jealous Son. Fellas, welcome to the Black Script. How you
Yeah,
guys doing today?
good man, good, real good,
Good.
feeling good. Good to be back.
Yes, I was going to say, Daytwan, you've been on this platform before. You've been interviewed before, but it was very early on in your career, and at that time, you were still making strides. Even though it was very early on in your career, you were still relatively green and trying to figure out how to navigate in this business. How has things been going for you so far within the past year and a half?
I know, right? We met like a year ago, and so much has happened in that little bit of time, man. But it's been good. It's been consistent. I think the last time we talked, I was telling you about upcoming projects and things like that, and
Yeah.
now
Mhm.
they're coming out. And now I'm getting seen, and now a little bit of noise is being made, and so no, it's good. It's been good. I'll hit my 3 year mark in August, so I still haven't hit 3 years yet, but it's good. Yeah.
Okay, dope. Man, 3 years. 3 years. Before we move forward, is there anything that you could possibly say that you've learned within this time from the time that we last spoke until now? What would you say that you do a little different than when you were just getting into this business?
I would say now the biggest thing that I learned and the biggest thing that I do different is really just focusing on getting better. A lot of what people are seeing of me right now is
Hmm.
just my natural talent that I have. So as I honed in on that, which is great, now I'm in a place where it's like, okay, you have this natural talent, but let's get better. Let's actually read some monologues and practice these different techniques, and let's really put forth some effort and not just depend on your natural god-given talent and then see what we can do. So I would say that's the biggest thing that I took away, because I get away with some stuff because, like I said, I can navigate naturally through a lot of things, but
Right.
wanting to go where I want to go, I know it's going to take a little bit more. So I would say my mindset has shifted in that way. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. Have you taken any acting classes? Are you getting some coaching on the side? Have you done any theater, anything like that?
Yeah, I've been trying to get back into theater. I haven't done theater in a little while now though, but currently in acting class, one-on-one coaching. I'm working on some character development stuff, which is really good. And
Good.
prior to that, I was in Baron Brown Studios over at LA. I was doing some online classes for 6 weeks, and we worked on the Meisner technique and basically being able to create an imaginary world and live in it. So I spent six
Hmm.
weeks doing that with some LA coaches, and that was great. They gave me some really good feedback, and also saw some things in me. So yeah, I definitely been getting into some classes and trying to put myself to work. So
Good, absolutely, and I mean that's just a testament to putting your head down and doing the work and actually honing your craft and not just winging it, and you're really working towards being a full-fledged actor, all
right.
around actor, and no matter the space that you're in. I definitely give you credit for that, and just keep pushing, man. Keep going forward. You're
Yeah.
already pretty successful as it is, and it's the sky's the limit, so you're going to
So,
continue to grow in that space for sure. Jannard, how are
Yes,
you
sir.
doing, sir?
Man, I'm doing good, man. Doing great.
Good. Let me ask you a few questions. Being that this is the first time I have you on the platform, I like to start all of my interviews, especially when I'm just getting to know you and when the audience is just getting to know who you are. I like to ask a very simple question, but some might find it a little difficult to answer. Are you ready?
Yeah.
That question is, who is Johnnard Harper?
mm,
Who is Johnnard Harper? Huh. A guy from Third Ward, Houston, Texas, hardworking individual, great energy, positive, brother, friend, cousin, laid back, just want to make dope films. That type of guy.
Dope, dope. Okay.
Yeah, that's
All right. I like that. I like that. And so you are on top of who you are as an individual, you are a writer, director, producer,
editor.
and editor.
Yeah.
All of the things.
Eh,
Multi hyphenate.
yes, multiple.
That's what's up, man. How long have you been making your own films?
I've been a filmmaker for 10 years, 10 years.
Okay.
But the last 4 years, I've been able to do work on personal projects and been doing film for full time for 4 years. So it's been like right before COVID hit.
Okay. And what got you into making films? What led you to want to pick up a camera and pursue this seriously?
Man, seeing seeing my godfather making a project. He wrote a project called Oculus. It was a big time horror film
Mm,
and it made a lot of money. So being able to see that, his name Jeff Howard, seeing that and reading the script before it came out and understanding how talented he is, it kind of burst off on me, you know. So I've always had a crazy imagination growing up, watching all type of different type of like dramas and fighting and love, and I just always felt like I could do something like that.
that's what's up. That's what's up. So, did on top of doing the filmmaking, did as far as the writing is concerned, did the writing come natural to you? You know, where did you begin, or how did you initially know that this is the path you wanted to take, and then where did you begin? You know, honing your craft in this space, like telling stories and things of that nature.
Yeah, I think it was the writing. It was the writing. When I was in middle school and high school, and we had to write all type of stories, what we did for the summer and all that. I used to
Mm,
tell all kind of crazy stories, lying about everything, but people believed it. And so I always kind of have a had a notch for telling stories. And so I was acting for a while, and then my buddy Sergio convinced me to get behind the camera. I went to film school with my guy Cedric, and ever since then, like picking up a camera because I was shooting films, I was doing everything, anything. Every weekend we'll go film something big, something small. It didn't matter. So after picking up the camera, understanding that part of it, and then one of my very, very, very close friends, Denisha, one of my writing partners, she's super dope. Me and her began writing and working on projects together, writing scripts together. Now she writes for BET, and she's successful in doing that. So being able to work with some other dope writers really made me step my game up. So it was the writing process.
okay, okay. Um, Now you said early on you would just pick up a camera and take it everywhere you went.
Yes.
If you don't mind me asking, what camera did you start with?
I started off with a Canon 7D.
Okay, nice.
Then I went to a Canon 5D Mark II. Then I went to a Nikon. Then I went to the Sony 6300, 6500.
Mm.
I had multiple cameras. Just shoot. I didn't care what it was. I buy a camera, sell one camera, buy another camera, buy some lenses, and go shoot.
So what system do you work with now?
We shoot right now. We shoot with the red Komodos.
Wow. Okay. Red.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And do look at Daytona. Do you and sorry if I'm getting a little too personal, but I think it's also
Hmm?
important for the filmmaker as well. But do you own these cameras or do you rent them?
Yes. No, we own it. So we have a whole team. My cousin Seven, my buddy Sosa, we own all our equipment. So we have all the crazy lights. We have everything from Dana Dollies to jibs to we have like three red cameras. We have Blazor lenses, anamorphics. Like it's crazy. Like we don't rent anything because we have everything in house now.
Wow. Wow. And how long did it take for you to get from novice to where you feel you are today? I know you said you had been doing this since like middle school, but if you
Man.
could put it in like a span of time.
I would say about 4 years.
Okay.
It was
Wow.
about 4 years. Yeah, but when I was working at the hospital, I was working in the anesthesia department, and so I was doing film, part time here and there as a weekend type of thing. But then when I lost my job, it kind of forced me to go into filmmaking full time and really learn the aspect of making films. And
Mhm.
so I was mentored by some dope guys in Houston, Joseph Elmore. He kind of mentored me a lot. I worked with another guy named Jonathan and
Mhm.
Shannon, and so I learned a lot working with those directors. And so from that span of 4 years, making a lot of mistakes, learning the process of making films, the writing, the shooting, understanding the quality, the technical side of stuff. Went to film school for a year. N- I would say yeah, about 4 years. Four
Wow.
years. Well, now I'm
You learn-
feeling comfortable.
So you were learning through experience and still currently learning and growing through experience, just by each project you get better and better.
Yes,
About how many films have you released besides The Jealous Son?
I have 12 films on Tubi, and I think 5 films on Peacock.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
nine. I
all
think
within 4 years.
yes, all within four
Man,
years.
okay. You're moving.
And it's gonna be more than that because we have probably like 5 films right now that's in post production.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, and then me and Daytwan, we just wrapped up a Christmas movie a couple of weeks ago.
Okay. So Daytwan, you're bouncing all around. You're not staying in one location and just
Right.
picking up roles and landing gigs, in just one location. You're moving around to wherever you find the work. And how's that been for you?
It's been fun, man. Honestly, just moving around like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like Johnnard, I've done probably the most movies with him at this point. And I don't know if you remember, but when you first interviewed me, I told you like early on, my process was, DMing folks and trying to reach out to them and tell them, hey, I'm an actor. Just give me an audition. Like he was one
Right.
of those guys. He was one of those guys that I used to DM and be like, hey, and one thing led to another. I got on set for a small role, and then now we've worked a lot. So, but being able to move around, I just recently came back from Detroit, working with those guys down there. I
Yeah.
did a film in Atlanta. It's fun to get out and see how other people do things. At the end of the day, it's all the same, but it's different. There's different energies on set, and you
Mhm.
just get to see how everybody does things differently. And then just the biggest thing is just meeting people and
Right.
building those relationships on set and because now when I'm in Detroit they want to bring me back
Right.
or when I'm in Atlanta they're already thinking of other movies they can put me in. So I think the biggest thing is not selling myself short and sitting in one spot. Now I have my favorites, of course, that I like to work with, but for me if I like the story, if I like the pay and it makes sense
Look at
I'm,
Nard.
I'm, 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 I'm gonna get on the flight. So no, it's been fun for sure. Yeah.
Wow. And one more question. Are you now in a space to where you're doing this full time?
No, sir.
Wow.
Almost. Almost.
Almost. No, but that's
Yeah.
still impressive because you're still working, still juggling the 9 to 5 family life, that type of
Yeah.
thing,
And,
but
and,
you're
and
moving around.
I'm blessed in the case of being good at sales, which also kind of goes hand in hand with acting for me, I feel like, because a
Mhm.
lot of sales jobs gives you that flexibility to leave and do things for a certain amount of time because I'm salary based, not hourly. So I don't have to go to work necessarily to get paid as long as I'm getting my job done. So
Right.
I haven't felt the need to want to leave my job, because I'm still able to work. Now it'd be great if I could just act full time, focus solely on that. But for now, it works. I've only been in it for 2.5 years. I'm still learning a lot. Like I don't even know all the processes yet, and I was just learning a little bit about becoming SAG recently, and that stuff never even crossed my mind because me getting into it, I just wanted to act. I was just happy to be here. But now it's becoming real, and I'm actually having to
Mm.
learn what this stuff means, what this stuff is, and making it a career. So yeah, it's been fun though.
Yeah, no, that's dope. That's dope. And it's good to hear, especially on the independent side, to be able to showcase that you don't have to be in one place, or dependent with on one group of people or one network of friends, or your relationships that you've built in your hometown, or where you're located. As you build your network and you build your relationships, you can begin to attach yourself to multiple roles, and get a lot done in a short period of time, and continue to pursue your career, and not necessarily wait on opportunities to appear at your doorstep. You appear at the opportunity's doorstep, and then you get things done that way. Now, Johnnard, let me ask, what did you see in Daytwan when Daytwan reached out to you for the first time and was like, "Man, please, just help me out"?
Oh man, the first time I ignored it. Ignored it. I'm like, oh, this guy all the way in Dallas, man. I ain't finna fool with him. I'm straight Houston, Texas. And we be doing everything in Houston. He gotta drive out here, he gotta do this, he gotta do that. But then I think it was the temp. He reached out again and he drove out here and he was on time. He was dressed to impress. His energy was everybody was feeling it. And I went to go tell, I think, my DP, Hirovi. I said, man, I'm gonna work with that guy, man. He really he hungry. And he was there every day on time. He'll come to Houston, drive back to Dallas. Then he'll come back to Houston, drive back to Dallas. Like it was the commitment that he was making. I said, man, this guy, he gonna be something. And then we went to do, I think, Hidden Licks. I think we did another movie called Hidden Licks. He did the same thing. He was the center of attention. Everybody like, man, this dude good. And I told her, I said, man, I'm gonna write a movie for you to star in. I'm gonna do something, which became Jealous Son. And man, that's my guy. That's one of my guy, man. That boy cold. That
Yeah.
boy
So
cold.
now you're glad that he stayed persistent and
Yeah.
didn't give up.
Yes. Yes.
Didn't take no for an answer.
Yes. Yes. I think the whole city of Houston and Dallas is happy that he stayed consistent and persistent. We're reaching out to folks and stuff like that.
Mhm, mhm. Let's talk a little bit about The Jealous Son. 6.2 million streams. It's on Tubi right now. If you haven't watched it, definitely go check it out. It's the most popular film for 26 straight days. First,
Today, 35.
oh,
Yeah.
35.
Today it's 30.
Man,
Yes. 35. Day 35.
first and foremost, talk a little bit about how does that feel to have a film that's that popular and getting that type of love and that many eyeballs, that many people watching it.
It's a little overwhelming. It's pretty cool because prior to that, I did a film called Bruised, and that went crazy, went viral, it went bananas, and that movie did like 28 days straight, and it was a domestic abuse film, so a lot of attention came from that film, a lot of investors, a lot of other producers and actors and stuff like that. And so I felt really good. I didn't think another film I could do could surpass that. And then we did a movie called Bruce 2, which was a sequel to it. Dave Dwan was one of the leads in it. That came out and did 21 days. And I'm like, okay, okay, it's close. Then when Jealous Son came out, I said, I don't think it's going to pass Bruce. And man, I was definitely wrong. Definitely wrong. And what makes it so dope is that at one point in time on Tubi, on at least on the most popular category, we had three movies all at the same time, which was Hidden Licks,
Wow,
Bruise, and Bruise One, and Daytron was in two of them.
wow,
And like right now, he has two most popular films with him on the poster and everything. And I knew this was going to happen, not
yeah.
just for me, but for him because I already seen it. He put in that work, you know. So I'm like, man, just wait till everything drop. It's gonna be over. And man, 35 days is just remarkable. And
Mm.
it's been like the most liked film when people watch the movie. They put a thumbs up, and I've never had a film that did that. People on TikTok making
Yeah,
posters, and
Yeah.
somebody messaged me today say, "Hey, I'm sending you and Daytona some kind of picture poster with glitter." I'm like, "Wow, these people crazy."
no, there's fans
Man,
everywhere. There's fans
yeah,
everywhere, and
yeah.
you'd be surprised how many people are watching. How many fans you might actually have. That actually leads to my next question: is have you guys seen or felt a little bit of the fame or the stardom by seeing a Johnnard Harper film or Daytwan, everybody seeing your face. And there's a lot of Tubi watchers out there. A lot of
Oh
people who
yeah.
watch films on
Oh yeah.
Tubi. So I'm sure you guys are getting the acclaim that you obviously deserve. And through all of this and the amount of attention that it's getting, I'm sure that you guys are also receiving that attention, not just from the film, but just the recognizability, and also building your name, Johnnard and Daytwan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, me personally, I've been seeing and feeling from the emails and DMs and things like that. Even from our company that distributed the film, they called me like probably on day 21, day 22, Maverick, and was already offering to do some more films and a sequel to it and this and that and that and this. And then, we got blessed with the opportunity of working with another platform based on the success of what Jealous Son did. So, man, it's just been crazy for me.
Yeah.
Personally, it's really
Yeah.
been crazy for me.
Same. And
Wow.
and I come from a athletic background and playing college football. In college, playing college football, you feel like a celebrity. So I felt that before, but in this, it's different. It's like I didn't have people. Since the movie dropped, since Jealous Son dropped, those 35 days, I've gained 2,000 new followers on Instagram. I've
Wow.
gotten
Okay.
people finding my phone number on IMDb, texting me, calling me. I'm your biggest fan. It's so good to see a new face on Tubi. I'm gonna watch everything you're in now. I get DMs like crazy. So it's we're feeling it. And honestly, I mean, just the Jealous Son, I knew just being on the set, like you just know. I've been on enough sets now to like there's an energy like, yo, this is gonna do something. It just felt
Yeah.
good the entire time. Like even when little stuff would try to mess us up, like I think the first day
Hmm.
filming it, we had this a location, whatever it was a mishap with the location the first day. We had to cut everything we filmed that whole day and redo everything the next day. So we had to double up on the day and still do it in the same amount of days, and we still came out. Everything still came out great because we all just worked so well together, man. So I wasn't surprised, but I mean, I didn't know what to expect, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
we've been feeling it. We've been feeling it for sure.
Yeah, and when that did happen, when we lost the location, we had to. I called my homegirl D Hill. She let us use her house last note. She was fussing at me and all that, but she let me use the house, and we ended up shooting 26 pages that one day. Like so, we was
Wow.
like Tyler Perry that day. Hey, day 20, you got one take and that's it. We had to catch up, and he was killing it every single take, every angle. It was the same every single time. So that's what helped us be able to do those 26 pages and caught up because we literally did that movie in 5 days due to the mishap on the location.
Wow. So you already had it set for 5 days, or was it set for 6 days and you lost a day?
It was set for 6 days and we lost a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
So okay, so you had 5 days, even though you filmed for six, or you were supposed to film for six, but you ended up doing 5 days.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
how long was each day on set?
Oh, every day was a little different, but we were there. You get there in the morning, and it's 12-hour, 14-hour
Yeah.
days.
12 to 14. Yeah.
Easy, easy.
Yeah. Now
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get an overall view as to how much goes into.
And you'll notice like the biggest things that are slow production down is actors not knowing their lines or
Yes.
you
Oh
have
my
to
gosh.
keep doing. And for me, it's like I feel like as an actor, the least you can do is know your lines. Like
Know
you
your
could
lines.
you could be the most terrible actor in the world, but if you know your lines, they could probably make something work.
Right.
That's the biggest thing that since I've been on set is like when actors don't know their lines, it slows everything down. So
Yeah.
we had a great cast. He casted great. Everybody came and ready. They were prepared. Everybody knew their lines, and we were just flying through scenes.
Fine.
camera flies. We was on to the next one, and it was good. It was good. So I think that's what helped us for sure. Was just the cast in general was so good that everybody was on point, and it was easy to work with, and we were just rolling.
Yeah.
Wow. So for the folks that have not seen The Jealous Son, if you could, in a nutshell, explain what the movie is about.
Go
You
ahead,
want
next
me?
one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the movie is essentially about a young man named Damien who's in college and he's coming home for he has a break off from school. He's coming home and he's coming home to an unexpected surprise. His parents are getting divorced, so he gets to the house and his mom's crying and dad's gone and he's confused. His mom tell him that they got a divorce and they're separated and dad has a new girlfriend. So Damien is mad within his own right. He feels like his dad ruined the relationship, cheated on his mom. So he goes to the house to confront his dad. He gets there, dad's not there, but dad's new girlfriend is there. And essentially, dad's new girlfriend is the same age as him. And one thing leads to the next. Dad's always gone from work, and Damien starts spending a lot of time with her. They build a type of connection and they grow feelings for each other. And then Damien becomes a little bit obsessed and it gets a little wicked. So, yeah, that's essentially what it's
It gets a little wicked.
a little wicked.
Yeah.
What's been the overall response or reaction to that? Just from
Good,
like
man.
the general public.
Everybody loves it. People taking small parts from the movie and making memes. And it's funny because it's a particular scene was in the hallway and Damien made a fist. And I said, man, they're gonna make an Arthur meme of
They
that
said
fist.
that. They said
And
that
that's all we've
all.
been seeing.
That's
Yes.
all they said
And
on
it's
set was
memes
like,
everywhere.
"Yep, yep." That's funny. For me,
And caught a
it's like
meme and it worked.
everything that I've been getting as far as feedback is people think I'm really crazy now. I'll say
Yeah.
that. And they're like, you played that role too good. And the funny part is when I started acting, I never seen myself in these roles. I always seen myself as the charismatic, charming, romantic type of playing roles, because I felt like that would
Yeah.
just be easy to do. So never saw myself in these roles. So it's just funny to hear. And when you hear that stuff, that means you did a good job. So I'm like, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, it's been good feedback for sure.
Yeah, it's been good feedback. And just reading comments and about him and his father, how they look like he could actually be his son and
Yeah, yeah.
seeing how wicked the son is, it's just man. Man, people already asked for a part two, and who baby is this, and it's just man,
Yeah, I was gonna ask, but I was like, maybe it might be too soon for them to mention. Is there gonna be a part two, or is that in the works?
it's in the works. It's in the
Okay.
works. That's something we thinking about doing in California actually.
we gonna give it what we
We
gonna
got an
give it
idea
what
for
you
the
want.
yeah,
Right.
yes,
but
Yeah.
yes,
but
we
for
have
me,
to.
it's like this one. It has to do even better than the first one, and
Yeah.
that's been my mindset of just this whole process has been I I haven't really like I enjoyed it. Of course, I've sat and I've soaked it all in, but ultimately my mind goes straight to what's next. Like
Hmm.
this is great. Like I can't even enjoy it all the way because now I feel the pressure of whatever I drop next. It got to be just as good, if not better.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I got to get better, and I got to
Right.
continuously get better because I can't keep putting the same stuff on film. So that's just where my mind goes with everything is what's next, and it got to be better, and we got to be better, and we can and we will be better. So it feels good, but it adds that extra pressure to you for sure. Or at least for me personally, because I that's just who I am.
Yeah, and practice makes perfect. Everybody definitely wants to show up as their best selves, especially on a camera. It's cemented in time, and you just want to give the best performance that you possibly can give. But obviously, nobody's gonna be batting 1,000 100% of the time. But yeah, if you
Right,
can get it there close enough,
right.
then that That's
Right.
showing that you really care about your craft and you want to, push the envelope for
Yep.
sure.
Yep.
Johnnard, I have a question for you, and it pertains to Tubi. I'm sure you probably hear it all the time. There's a lot of people, and I'll be honest, I'm critical of Tubi movies as well.
Hmm.
But if you can speak to the power of submitting your work to Tubi and having your work on Tubi, and what it has done for you within your career and within this filmmaking space, just for other filmmakers, other people who might either be naysayers or might not quite understand the power of releasing your project on Tubi or even on another platform similar to Tubi.
Hey, but Tubi, I think has been great to me and a lot of my comrades. We've been doing films and putting it on like Amazon, well, trying to put them on Amazon and Vimeo and all that stuff like that. It wasn't until we found out about Tubi that a majority of the films I've done or worked on has been financially a success. And Tubi has opened up a door to a lot of black filmmakers, black actors, a chance to do work, showcase their work, good, bad, and different.
Hmm.
They have 90 million subscribers, and they have more than that that's not even logged in. And so I think Tubi has been one of the best platforms I've ever worked on or put any projects on because of that. We keep creating opportunities for each other by creating dope stuff. So I know Tubi get a bad rep because a lot of people that doesn't care about quality, don't care about the actors. They got bullcrap scripts. They just shoot the movie on iPhones and put it out. Don't care about the lighting or the audio. But it's a lot of really dope filmmakers that take their time, a lot of dope actors that take their time and put out really quality work. And a lot of people is flocking to Tubi over BET now. They're flocking to Tubi over All Black now because they feel like it's it's more culturally inviting for them now. So I love Tubi. I love Tubi. I think that's been a great platform for us.
Wow, interesting. So there are
Yeah.
a lot of people who are choosing Tubi over BET and All Black.
Yes. 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 And Tubi actually have Tubi, like I say, Tubi, as far as the subscribers and stuff, is almost on the line of what Disney and Hulu and Netflix, and now Tubi is becoming more serious, a serious player where they're getting rid of a lot of projects that doesn't have the quality of what Tubi wants. You know what I'm saying? It's those Tubi-ish films they're
Right.
getting rid of. So they're gonna have a standard where the camera has to be a certain way, the quality has to be a certain way, the music has to be a certain way, or we don't want it. Or it's gonna be like an exclusive membership. And projects that we're doing, luckily we have dope actors and dope team. Well, we can keep providing that type of quality, and eventually take it to the next level, which is a bigger studio. But
Mhm.
Tubi has been great.
Yeah. No, that's good. I'm glad that you answered that because, like I said, there's a lot of people who who have criticisms about Tubi, but and obviously once Fox acquired them, or who's to say that they might have owned them all along and then just announced that they acquired them. But since then, as you were saying, they've changed the standards over time. They're letting less low quality movies in and more higher quality movies
Yeah,
are able to thrive and able to be showcased just like your films. I mean, it's just the simple fact of how many streams it's receiving and how popular they are and how much feedback you guys are receiving. Obviously Tubi has been working wonders for you guys both in the creative space as well as the financial side of things.
yeah.
So I say that only to say, if there were other platforms out there similar to Tubi that really, honed in or focused on, the black demographic, black audience, or just people of color in general, would you guys obviously showcase your films there as well? Or are you looking to do Tubi and move on to some of the heavy hitters like Netflix, Hulu?
I would love to showcase it everywhere, everywhere. I think I'll be a fool not to say I just want Netflix or I just want Hulu. I want everything because you never know who's on what platform, who's watching what platform. So I would love the opportunity to have our projects everywhere. I want the whole world to see people like Daytwan and my guys like Marvin and D and Kennedy and stuff like that. So I would prefer the projects everywhere, especially, black owned, of course.
Yeah,
I would like the projects to be everywhere. More
yeah,
exposure for everyone.
absolutely, absolutely. Now let's talk a little bit about the casting. I already asked you about Daytwan, but you have several other cast members that are part of this project. If you don't mind saying their names, I don't have their names off the top of my head, but if you don't mind saying their names, give them a little credit and some kudos, and just kind of give a feel for what they do in the film.
Okay, go ahead, Daytona. You got that?
Okay, we have my dad in the film, Reginald. That's my guy, man. Damien, he is a character in real life, but he's super cool, super chill guy. He shows up to work ready to work. He's always gonna be dressed to impress, no matter what scene it is, no matter what time of day it is. He's gonna have it on. That's the dad in the movie. We got Brandy Specs who plays my mom.
Yeah.
Randy is actually the one who leveled that gap for me and Johnnard to actually meet because I was DMing him and I'm sure he gets DMs all the time, as do a lot of directors. And I wasn't gonna sit and wait for anybody, so I went and did a movie with somebody else, Miss Denise Monet, first person I ever did a movie with, and Brandy happened to be on set, and she seen me doing my thing, and she was like, "Hey, we got this movie and we're looking for a guy. I want you to be in it." And I was like, "Yeah." I get there, I was like, "Oh," I was like,
Hey,
I
look,
was
look how the stars align, man. Look how the stars
I was
align.
like, oh man. So come to find out, Brandy and Johnnard, they work closely together. And she had brought me on because she had seen me on Denise's set. And yeah, she got to play my mom in the movie and she did a great job. So yeah, that's Miss Brandy Speck. She did a lot of other things outside of playing my mom on set. She does AD. She
AD, producing, casting.
make sure she's the one on set hollering that we gotta hurry up. It's time. Y'all taking too long. She keeps us sharp. And then Miss Kennedy. Me and Kennedy share the last name, but we're not related. Kennedy Williams. She is a force to be reckoned with. She's from New Orleans or Louisiana, but has been in Houston for a long time and phenomenal
Mm,
actress. She comes up and she's prepared every day. She knows her lines. It's an add-on that she's beautiful and she carries herself well and she's starting to understand the business and understand
mhm.
what she wants and will not do and she played the heck out of that role. I mean, it's a controversial role to begin with, but she bodied it because if you know Kennedy in real life, she's nothing like that. So she did a really really
Mhm.
great job in creating that character Kessie and bringing her to life. Um, and then we have, that's the main cast, but we have guys like Xavier who I beat up in the film. There's a couple of films that I beat up or shoot him. I'm always doing something to him in every movie for some reason. We have Miss Faith, who at the beginning of the movie, you see me choking her out. That's my ex girlfriend who I always have
Mm.
these flashbacks about. She's super great, super chill. But yeah,
Alexis.
that Alexis, yes, Alexis Simone. She played my best friend in the movie, and great, great. Like I haven't seen somebody die that good. I don't think since I've been on set. I told her I was like, you die really good. Like, so no, it was fun. It was fun. She's fun. Just her as a person, super super funny, super chill. Likes to have
Yeah.
fun, likes to play around, but when it's time to work, she knows her lines. She knows the business. She's been doing it for a little while. Not sure if she's from Houston, but she lives in
I
Houston.
think she's from Dallas.
Oh, she's from
I
Dallas.
think she, yeah, I think she's from Dallas. She was on Lifetime with Vivica A. Fox. Like,
Yeah,
Alexis has so much potential. She's really, really dope.
yeah, really, really good. And that was my first time meeting her. It was the first time meeting a lot of these people on set. And we've built relationships and connections now to where it's like, I'll shoot them a couple of auditions here if I see something, or we'll call and check up. But yeah, no, that cast was one of the better ones that I've been on. And kudos to Johnnard and the team for bringing that cast together. Everybody meshed super well. Like you said, everybody was just speaking on how me and Damien, that's his real name in real life, my dad, how we look so much alike and we could really pass as father and son. And then,
Yeah.
Kennedy came in and she's this young, pretty girl and she kind of just fit the part so perfectly. And, Brandy even, and Alexis came in and then she had this swagger about her like the home girl. And so the casting was so great and it made it so easy to just show up to work and work. You don't always get that. So this was definitely one of the better sets as far as casting and things like that. So yeah, those are that's the cast.
No, that's dope, man. That is dope. Jannard, where do these stories come from, man? Like where in your
That's a good
imagination?
question. Hey, and
I
Jamar,
don't know.
Jamar, that boy, he probably got right now probably writing something. He probably got so much stuff. He has so much
Yeah.
stuff in the vault that I'm like, dang, bro. Like,
Wow.
Man, I don't know. I think I get inspired by a lot of the movies in the 80s and early 90s, like the thrillers and stuff, like Fatal Attraction and Fear. Like The Jealous Son I was inspired. First, I was inspired when I seen Day 20 on set. And I
Mhm.
said, like I said, he's going to be a star. I need to write him something. As I started thinking about ideas, I had just watched this movie called Fear with Mark Wahlberg. And I
Yeah.
say, oh, shoot, I love this movie. I'm gonna use that as the blueprint. And since I already knew Daytona was gonna be the lead, I already knew Kennedy was gonna be they gonna be together.
Mhm.
The idea just came from watching movies in the 80s and 90s. A lot of movies they don't have, people of color too much in
Right.
those movies. So
Right.
I'm like, man, what if we did a movie and we flipped it
Mhm.
and put us as the leads and stuff like that. And I know my audience, my audience is a lot of women, black women, they watch the movies, they support the movies. So I really cater to that audience, like people that watch Lifetime and Hallmark and stuff like that. So I think it comes from
No,
that.
yeah, that's good. That's good. And that's a good that's a good idea also, because there's a lot of obviously there's a lot of remakes out there, but there's not a lot of black films that are in that vein. And to
Hmm.
be able to take on some of the more popular films of that era, the 80s and the 90s, and flip them and make them more current, more modern, and just have a black cast or black characters within it. I think that makes for a more interesting dynamic, and brings it to, the current time of today. And it allows for us to tell other stories besides, the typical ones or the ones that people expect to see on the screen.
Correct.
Hmm. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, those are pretty much the questions that I had for you, but I would like to know from each of you what's next. What's next for Daytwan? What's next for Jannard?
oh, wouldn't you like to know? It's like, nah. Honestly, I'm just keeping my head down, staying focused. I'm in a position now where the first part of my career was, building that resume. Now I feel like I'm slowly in a transitioning period where I'm learning the business now and I'm figuring out my next best moves and only wanting to be in films that are gonna, boost my career, not just being in anything just to say I was in a movie. I feel like I'm getting to a point now where I'm being a lot more selective. I do have some
Mhm.
films coming up. My next one is in June that we start shooting in Dallas. But yeah, man, as far as me, just working, I'm always looking to get better, always looking for, I just want to continue 1% better every day. So you won't see me doing too much of the same stuff. And it's just going to be elevating. And people elevating around me. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's it, man.
Yeah. Uh, Hold on, Jannar. Before you answer, I do got one more question for you, Daytwan. Have you attempted to audition for any major network? TV roles or film roles, anything like that? Have you
Yeah,
gotten to that stage yet?
absolutely. On Actors Access, I've auditioned for some Tyler Perry roles. I actually auditioned for a role in LA one time, and I actually booked it. This was about a year ago, and I was excited. Super big production. It was with the white people, and it was like a really big production. Yeah, man, I booked the role and couldn't go because I ended up having to go to this random funeral. But
Oh man.
the fact that
Yeah. Sorry to
the
hear.
fact that I was like, I booked it though, like I can book
Yeah.
it. And then, I've auditioned for some Tyler Perry stuff and I've gotten plenty of callbacks. And the first
Mhm.
time I messed up because I said I didn't live in Atlanta, but I learned my lesson there. But yeah, always, auditioning for bigger roles, man, and just not even bigger roles, just bigger productions, working with those bigger productions. Every role to me is big, but I feel like that's why I'm in a learning period and figuring this stuff out because I know what I bring to the table. I know I can book these jobs. So there's something else that I'm missing. So now I'm in a period of learning what exactly are they looking for, what's not on my resume that maybe why they pushed it to the side. Maybe my headshot isn't, Hollywood style. There's something that I'm not doing, and
Mhm.
I'm learning that now. I just had a meeting yesterday just regarding what your resume should look like, what your demo reel should look like. So I'm in
Yeah.
that process
Those are
now.
all important things. Yeah.
Exactly. So little stuff like that. Like I said, learning what SAG means. There's production companies that they won't even work with you if you're not SAG. So that can be it
Right.
right there. He's not SAG. I'm not even gonna look into it right now. Little stuff like that. So I'm in that period, but I know I can book it. I've booked them. I've gotten callbacks, and I'm gonna keep applying. I'm gonna keep auditioning. So yeah, yep.
Dope. Dope. Okay, Johnnard. My bad for
No, you good.
steering off a little bit. What's next for you?
Right now, I'm in the middle. Well, I'm literally on break now. Well, we're currently shooting a thriller movie called Kyra's Code, starring Choco and Sade and Brandy Specs. It's an AI sci-fi-ish type thriller. We have a few more days left on that, and we wrap. We have another project, another thriller called Talk Dirty to Me. That's a crazy podcast thriller. We have The Trainer, which is another crazy thriller, and we also editing my latest Christmas rom-com starring Daytwan, Ebony's Christmas Carol, which is a beautiful shot movie. The acting, I love that movie. It came out really, really, really good.
I can't wait to see that.
Um, oh man, look like Netflix, man. It looks like Netflix. That and like, I'm working on a boxing script for Daytwan again. So it's a few things. I think I see him. I kind of see Daytwan like Ryan Coogler and
I was
Michael B.
just getting ready to say. I was just getting ready. Man.
So I'm working on some new scripts, new stories to tell this because it's certain stuff I want to see him play. I want to give him opportunity to be different characters, and so I have a few things
Nice.
for
I
sure.
appreciate that, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Man. For anybody watching that want to be an actor, man, just stop waiting for people to help you out and just go figure it out. Figure it out. That's what I'll
Figure it
say.
out.
No, really, because I've had since even the Jealous Son, I've had people reach out to me, man, and I want to act. I want to act. Can you help me? Can you help me? And I'm like, do you even have a headshot? Do you even have? There's certain things that you can do now outside of asking for help. Somebody's only gonna help you as much as you help yourself. If I can't want it more than
Hmm.
like, and you can tell who's really serious about it because it's like they're just sitting around waiting. So just go figure it out. When I started, I literally on YouTube, how do you self tape? What lights do you
Mhm.
need? It's all there. How should your resume look? How do you audition? Oh, they show you which websites to get on. Like the information's there. So that's what I'll leave everybody with. Anybody looking to be an actor, man, just stop waiting for people to help you and focus on just getting better and don't focus so much on booking jobs because you're not as good as you think. We all aren't. So That's my
Yeah.
advice.
Yeah. Absolutely. Johnnard, do you have any advice for filmmakers out there?
Man, keep going. I mean, man, you're gonna hear a bunch of no's, you're gonna get a bunch of rejections, and all you just gotta stay motivated, be around the right people, love on the people that love on you, and be supportive of the decisions they make in films and let them be supportive of you, and build a really good family. Because I look at us as a family, more so than just a team. We can talk about personal stuff, we can talk about family stuff. It doesn't matter because we all together. We all want to win it. If one person's success is all of our success. So be a part of a team and try to win championships. I see us as the Golden State Warriors, with Stephen and Clay and Draymond. We want to win. So we trying to we want to surround yourself around positive people who's gonna also be honest with you with how you acting or how you writing and give you great feedback, and don't take no for an answer. Keep going, look for answers. Put your head in the books, read the book, go to YouTube, how to do this, how to do that, and try to connect with your local film community and just figure things out. That's
Having
all we
that
done. That's all we've been doing. Yeah.
having that
Yeah.
tribe is huge, man. Like
Yes.
there's been times
You
I've
have
been
to
on
take
set.
initiative.
There's been times I've been on set with Johnnard, and we'll just be on a break, and we'll just be having conversations, and just those little bitty conversations. Like I get so motivated, like just having those people around you. Like I get so turned up,
Yeah.
like it's like I just started again. Like it's like having those people, and then having other people on set like Antron who they might
Yeah.
motivate you in a different way, like because we like to go back and forth a little bit of who's better, who's this, who's that, so just,
Friendly
but it's
competition.
all love though, like it's all love. We
Yeah.
want to see each other win, but having that tribe, man, is so huge, bro. It's crazy what it can do for you mentally. It's huge.
Hmm.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, man. I truly appreciate you guys. I appreciate, you sharing your time, your knowledge, some of the behind the scenes information on the Jealous Son and some of the other projects that you've worked on. It's it's also been an incredible ride for me as well to be able to talk to individuals just like you guys and be able to showcase up and coming talent, emerging talent, and people who have been doing it for a long time and just there hasn't been the right spotlight for them yet. So
Yeah,
a part of what we're looking to do is be able to provide that spotlight, get more people in the know, and showcase what you guys have to offer because there's plenty of talented people out there,
Yes.
plenty of us that are talented. We just don't have the shot or the right platform to be able to showcase it. So
and Kevin, the last time I saw you,
kudos.
you've made huge strides, brother. You've made huge. So
Yeah, it's growing, man. It's
congrats,
growing.
man. I think like the
Yeah,
first time we met, we I don't know, we probably had about the same amount of followers. Now I'm like, I went to your
yeah.
page.
I don't even remember the number. Honestly, I
I went
don't.
to your page the other day. I was like, oh God. And then you see. I watched the interview you just did, and man, yeah,
Yeah,
you made because I remember meeting you, and you were just getting started around the same time
I
I was
was.
just getting around the same time I
I
was just
was.
getting started. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, we making strides together, brother.
Absolutely. And that's what it's all about. And we also have to be able to show up for each other. If I ever have it, within the capacity to be able to show up, I'm going to show up for people, especially the ones that I know that are working hard at pursuing their craft. And you guys aren't not taking it seriously. You are taking it seriously. And so I want to be able to show up for those who show up for themselves and be able to give, the right spotlight or whatever kind of spotlight I can give. Next thing a year or two later, I see you guys on Jimmy Fallon or something, talking about this. I just want to, I'll finish by saying thank you guys for joining. It was truly a pleasure. As always, when you have future projects, feel free to reach out and let me know about them. I'll be happy to help, whether it's with an interview or a post or anything like that. But yeah, you guys just keep pushing forward, and congratulations on all the success on this film, and your previous and your future endeavors as well. Yeah, Daytwan Williams and Johnnard Harper, everybody.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yes, yes.